Hi there, how are you? This is Bob Bennett. It is Wednesday, December 13th. It is 6 p.m. in the West, 9 p.m. in the East, and over in the UK, it's like the wee hours of the morning, I believe. I'm so glad you tuned in, whether you're watching this streaming tonight or catching up with an archived version. Let me say welcome to my little digital corner of Facebook. Tonight I'm going to concentrate on songs from Christmastide, which is my 2009 Christmas album that I hope kind of comes back around every year like the holiday itself. So I'll be playing some of these songs tonight from my offices here in the world headquarters of Bob Bennett Enterprises, which is essentially just my bedroom office at home. And so now I know that sometimes people will have feedback and so forth, and I may or may not be able to catch those comments. So forgive me if I just kind of forge ahead. It seems like I'm not paying attention, but that's that. So we'll start with the first song. That is the first song on the album, God With Us. Make wide the way and straight the path, God with us. He comes in mercy, not in wrath, God with us. Behold an ancient mystery, God stepping into history. Hail the incarnate deity, God with us. Goodwill to man and peace on earth, God with us. He comes to us by humble birth, God with us. Clothed alike in flesh and bone, He comes to make His Father known. His Spirit says we're not alone, God with us. God with us, because we fell. Yeshua HaMashiach, Emmanuel. God with us, it was always meant to be. God with us, with you, with me. Innocent as a newborn child, God with us. The souls of sinners reconciled, God with us. From Bethlehem to Calvary, He comes to set the captives free, that every grave might empty be. God with us, God with us. What a story to tell. Jesus Christ, our Emmanuel. The lame will dance and the blind will see. God with us, with you, with me. Not by merit do we proclaim, He is fully God and fully man, blessed be His name. The Eternal One surely kept His vow to be God with us. God with us, here and now. So light the lights and trim the tree, God with us. A holiday with a mongrel pedigree, God with us. But at the heart of why we're here, the morning after midnight clear, reverence replaces fear, God with us. God with us, our hearts compel our worship of the living God, Emmanuel. May His Spirit give open eyes to see. God with us, with you, with me. God with us, with you, with me. God with us. God with us. That song actually came about in part because a dear friend gave me a volume of essays called God with Us. And some of my friends and people that I admire greatly contributed to that book. And in reading the book, it was one of those cases where it was so good I had to put it down. I just couldn't read too much at once because it was so wonderful. And eventually I picked up my guitar and wrote that song as a consequence of my exposure to that great writing. Whether it's song lyrics or poetry or essays or really any good artwork, film, painting, sculpture, if you're a guy like me, a rising tide kind of lifts all boats. Even things that don't have a real direct one-to-one correlation with what I do are still an inspiration. There's that part of me that just says, I want to do that really well, because hearing them do it really well shows me what the stakes are and makes me very happy. So anyway, this next song is a song called It May Not Have Been December. There has been some respectful talk both inside and outside of the church as to whether or not the nativity occurred precisely on the exact date of December 25th. My response to this was a rather nuanced, mature, theologically astute, hey, so what? And so I decided to put that little bit of sentiment in a song. Historians say it was a different day when Jesus was born long ago. For shepherds in fields at night would not have been a winter side. What season it was we cannot know, but a calendar date is not the thing we celebrate. It's the miracle of mercy we remember, when God the Son wore human skin to save us from our sin. Though it may not have been December. Astronomers suppose a planet arose, Venus on a clear night, not a star. No anomaly of astronomy without a telescope to see. The naked eye could only go so far. But whatever glowed that night, God proclaimed, let there be light. And we are living in creation's burning embers, for the one whose wounds were planned stretched out a baby's hand. Though it may not have been December. It's not that facts don't really matter. It's a question of what really matters more. In an endless war of words, the good news goes unheard, and we set aside what Christmastide is for. There are those who say there are countless ways the life of the Spirit is expressed. You can take your choice of any truth, any voice, keep only what you choose and lose the rest. But the God of eternity stepped into history as humankind's first immortal member. Goodwill comes to all the earth at our blessed Savior's birth. Though it may not have been December, it may not have been in December. So that may not be the final word on the controversy, but it's the best that I could come up with under the circumstances. Hope you liked that. By the way, I realize I'm kind of sitting out of frame. I want to quickly show, covered up by my capo, the R on the headstock of my guitar. That mention and showing that is my thank you and eternal gratitude to my friend Kevin Ryan, who built me the fine instrument that I am playing this night, and almost every night that I've got a guitar in my hand. It's 99.9% of the time it's a Ryan guitar. And so you can visit him online at Ryan Guitars, plural, ryanguitars.com, and keep up with his luthiery adventures in that way. Try, let's see. This is a very beautiful carol, a very unusual part, I think, of the Christmas canon. It's called Jesus Christ, the Apple Tree. If you've done any madrigal singing, you may have run across this song. I find the lyric to be, aside from the archaic nature of the lyric, it's just such a beautiful and haunting set of words. And the musical setting was written in the mid-1940s by Elizabeth Poston. I'm about to, for better or for worse, sort of Bob Bennett-ize it a little bit here with my guitar and vocal. But I first heard it on a classical music album, and it took me a little bit of time to figure out how to record it. And then, when I finally did that in 1997 on the record Small Graces, I didn't play guitar on it. The keyboards were handled magnificently by Phil Nash. In 2009, when I was working on my Christmas album in Surrey, British Columbia with my dear friend and producer Roy Salmond, he said, "Aren't you going to do Jesus Christ the Apple Tree?" And I said, "Well, Roy, I've already done it." And he said, "If you haven't done it with your guitar, you haven't done it yet." And I, shucks. And I went back and came up with this arrangement, and this is the one we used. My soul has seen, laden with fruit and always green. The tree of life my soul has seen, laden with fruit and always green. The trees of nature fruitless be, compared with Christ the apple tree. His beauty doth all things excel. By faith I know, but ne'er can tell. His beauty doth all things excel. By faith I know, but ne'er can tell. The glory which I now can see, 'tis found in Christ the apple tree. For happiness I long have sought, and pleasures dearly I have bought. For happiness I long have sought, and pleasures dearly I have bought. I missed of all, but now I see, 'tis found in Christ the apple my soul to thrive. It keeps my dying faith alive. This fruit doth make my soul to thrive. It keeps my dying faith alive, which makes my soul in haste to be with Jesus Christ the apple tree, which makes my soul in haste to be with Jesus Christ the apple tree. The apple tree. Oh. Jesus Christ, the apple tree. Isn't that a lovely carol? The first place that I heard that was on the same record that I heard Tomorrow Should Be My Dancing Day, which I will be doing in a little bit. It's an album on Deutsche Grammophon. Robert Preston conducts the choir of Westminster Abbey on Deutsche Grammophon. It's a beautiful, beautiful carol. Now, on the complete other end of the spectrum, and quite irreverent, is the next song I will play for you. It was my thought that there are a certain segment of people around us every year that just don't have very much fun during this time of year. For whatever reason, they just have trouble getting with the program. And so I wanted to write a Christmas song that is a Christmas song for the cranky. And, I just got a message from a guy saying he can't find the link to the concert. It's on my Facebook page. I can't respond to him right now, but doggone it. I'll tell you what, give me just a second, folks, and let me call up my browser and see if I'm actually happening. It says I'm somewhere. Aren't I on my Facebook page? Oh, wait just a second. Let me see. Hold on just a second here. This will tell the tale. No? Okay. So let me go back here. Yeah. Okay, there I am. All right. So I'm not quite sure what's happening. They might need to refresh their browser, but of course they can't hear me give that advice because they can't find the link. I'm so sorry. Well, they'll be able to watch the replay if all goes well. That's that. Anyway, as I was saying, this is a Christmas carol for the cranky. Feel free to wear the Christmas slipper if it fits, or feel free to elbow the person next to you to whom this might apply. There's no chestnuts roasting, that's a holiday crock. No open fires are burning anywhere on my block. When the season comes around, it happens annually. It's time for Christmas for cynics, for me. All the decorations are stashed up in the attic. Dad's on top of the ladder, that's problematic. There's a guest list full of people I don't really want to see. It's time for Christmas for cynics, for me. Each year when the guy with the red suit comes knocking, I always get the same lump of coal in my stocking. Someone's spinning a yarn about homemade sweaters, and people mailing mass-produced personal letters. We count the shopping days and hide the stuff we bought. Christmas all year round, good Lord, perish the thought. Soon we'll all get back to normal. Just you wait and see. After Christmas for cynics, for me. Mr. Scrooge bears some scrutiny. Mr. Potter's got a point. Table for three at Club Misery. We'll close down the joint. It's a wonderful life, but only on TV, 'cause it's Christmas for cynics, for me. If life were like a movie, here's how the plot would go. I'd get wise and realize I'm a sour so-and-so. Music would swirl around my great epiphany. Not a dry eye for Christmas, for cynics, for me. If you pass me on the street and extend a one-way greeting, chances are great I'm running late to a support group meeting. It's a lifelong addiction, a habitual affliction, and I'm only telling you where I'm headed to, and that I'm hoping for recovery from Christmas for cynics, for me. Christmas for cynics, for me. Christmas for cynics like me. Christmas for cynics. There you go. In case you may not know who I am, who is this guy? Where can I find him? Do I want to find him? That, of course, is all up to you. I live in the most obvious place possible. You can go to www.bobbennett.com, spelled just like Tony Bennett, but unfortunately no relation. So Bob, BENNETT.com, that's where you'll find me. Information about my concerts, ways to buy CDs if you're still doing that, and also information on where to get downloads if you're doing that. You can also find me on Apple Music and Spotify and other streaming services as well. And there are scattered bits of and pieces of concerts and songs and things like that all over YouTube as well. There's lots of Bob Bennetts out there, but I think you'll be able to figure out when you get to me. So, anywho, also, wanted to mention for those of you in Southern California, this Sunday evening I will be playing at Agape Chapel OC, or Agape Chapel Orange County. There will be information up on my website in just a little bit. I got to go up there and update that listing and make sure that it says everything that it needs to say. But if you Google Agape Chapel OC, and they meet in Costa Mesa, you'll be able to find information about the church and its location. That's going to be my last Christmastide concert of the year on Sunday. I'm also going to be appearing very briefly, but significantly for me, at a Saddleback Church this Friday night. They have a Celebrate Recovery meeting, and I'll be playing my song Hand of Kindness. The folks there have been very kind to say, we'd like to introduce you to our people that are attending Celebrate Recovery. And they're pretty tightly programmed, but I'm going to go there and sing my little heart out for about 3.5, 4 minutes and make hopefully a lot of new friends, and bring glory and comfort and encouragement. Glory to the Lord and comfort and encouragement to all who will attend. Anyway, as I mentioned before about the Jesus Christ the Apple Tree, this is Tomorrow Shall Be My Dancing Day. There's many musical settings. In fact, at my own church's Lessons and Carols service this last Friday, they did a different musical setting of it, which was just gorgeous. This is the one based on the one that was done by John Gardner. It's got a rather odd meter, and I tried to make the best of it with that. The song has a gazillion verses, and it is the best way to explain it is that Jesus Christ, who is dwelling outside of time in the eternal perspective, then for our benefit gives a narration of his life story. So the first part of those lyrics have wound up in this song, Tomorrow Should Be My Dancing Day, and is sung at Christmas. But if you were to look up the song and find the ton of lyrics that are there, you can follow a narrative all the way through. And so it's just a gorgeous piece. And I'm going to do my best to protect that gorgeousness as much as I can by playing this version. So, Tomorrow Shall Be My Dancing Day. Tomorrow shall be my dancing day. I would my true love did so chance to see the legend of my play, to call my true love to my dancing. Oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love, this have I done for my true love. Then was I born of a virgin pure, of her I took fleshly substance, thus was I knit to man's nature to call my true love to my dancing. Oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love, this have I done for my true love. In a manger laid and wrapped I was so very poor, this was my chance, betwixt an ox and a silly poor ass, to call my true love to my dancing. Oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love, this have I done for my true love. Then afterwards baptized I was, the Holy Ghost on me did glance, my Father's voice heard from above to call my true love to my dancing. Oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love, this have I done for my true love. Singing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love, this have I done for my true love. For my true love. A lot of snappy words there. I almost made it. Tomorrow should be my dancing day. Very good. Again, for some reason, I'm not quite sure what my settings are, but I don't want to be messing with tech stuff while I'm supposed to be singing. I'm not seeing the comments and so forth. I trust that there are some comments going on, and I will go back and read pretty much every one of them. Up to a certain point, at least on this Wednesday night. And so if you've got questions or comments or anything like that, I will see them. I trust that there are some that are tuning in. So this is a song of whimsy. It seems that I've lost December. I must have misplaced it somehow. It should have been here, right where I left it last year. Oh, what will I do now? Shortly after Thanksgiving, I had a sneaking suspicion. Was this a calendar prank, or was I drawing a blank when the year's last month changed position? I posted flyers all over town. Have you seen this month? Reward if found. Dressed up for winter, last seen at my door. I can't remember if December has ever run away before. By way of description, it's 31 days, but they always go by pretty quick. All the other months are beside themselves, and some of them are worried sick. I decided to make door-to-door rounds. Have you seen this month? Reward if found. I asked about Hanukkah and Christmas Day. Will there be a New Year's Eve if December is MIA? The temper complained, "Don't bother me, I've got way too much stress and inventory." I went to the fireman and all he would say, "Check your wiring and water your tree every day." The neon-vested lady knew not of the loss. She just held up a stop sign so children could cross. The policeman, he told me, in this situation I should call the desk sergeant down at the station. It seems that I've lost December. I must have misplaced it somehow. It should have been here, right where I left it last year. Oh, what will I do now? Oh, what will I do now? Now that December has gone away, December am I. I hope you haven't lost your December and that you're having a good time with it. We still have some month left. Get a little bit to drink here. Also, I don't quite know who's tuned in again. I don't know why those things are not on my screen tonight, but it says that I'm live, and I'm trusting that I am. Otherwise, I just had a great rehearsal sitting in front of my Mac for 45 minutes. But I would like to send this out to somebody who is either watching or I think will be watching soon. My friend Doug in New England had some close encounters of the hospital kind over the past few days, and is now safe at home and recovering. And I hope this music is bringing you some cheer, Doug. That's certainly my hope as I run these songs down. This next song is, I think, one of the most joyful carols of the season. Pardon me while I corral my tuning. It's not the guitar, it's operator error. There's many different versions of this song. This is a version that I developed the guitar arrangement and actually adapted some of the lyrics and a couple of lines of my own, and based on my research of the song. As I often say, if you've ever heard me sing this song live before, you've heard me say what I'm about to say right now. You would never want to make any important historical, theological, or doctrinal decisions based on the lyric of the song. Nonetheless, if you hook up your heart to the joy that's in this song about the coming of the Lord, I think you can overlook a few factual imprecisions that are part of the lyric. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. And who was in those ships, all 3? On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Who was in those ships, all 3? On Christmas Day in the morning. Our Savior Christ and Mother Mary. Oh, I I just got a text and I messed up my own song. Let me check that text real quick, and then I will start the song over again because it is Facebook Live. Okay. Apparently I'm live streaming, but there aren't contemporaneous comments or anything like that. So anyway, I hope this doesn't wind up to be just a maddening 45 minutes of me wondering, am I on? Am I on? So let me try that again. I need to stop reading while I'm trying to sing. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. And who was in those ships, all 3? On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Who was in those ships, all 3? On Christmas Day in the morning. Our Savior Christ and Mother Mary. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Our Savior Christ and His Lady. On Christmas Day in the morning. Pray with us sailed those ships, all 3. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Over land and on the sea. On Christmas Day in the morning. Oh, they sailed into Bethlehem. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. The breath of God, it carried them. On Christmas Day in the morning. Then all the angels in heaven sing. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. While every bell on earth shall ring. On Christmas Day in the morning. Let every living soul rejoice. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And join together with one voice. On Christmas Day in the morning. Then let us all give thanks again. On Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Then let us all give thanks, amen. On Christmas Day in the morning. On Christmas Day in the morning. There we go. One false start and one I saw 3 ships. For your dining and tree trimming pleasure. In case you're just joining in, my name is Bob Bennett. I'm a singer-songwriter. I live in Southern California. I am 52 years into playing guitar and singing and writing songs. Yeah, I started when I was 2. No, that is not the case. You can find me online at www.bobbennett.com, just like it sounds. 2 N's, 2 T's, that's me, bobbennett.com. Let me get my guitar straightened out here again. That's how you know it's live, because I don't have like a guitar tech, handing me an in-tune guitar and, everything's perfect. That's how you know. This song is called Carol of the Moon and Stars. I always think of my loving wife Elena when I sing this song because this is her favorite of my particular batch of songs of Christmas carols that I've written. And I pray that it's a real blessing to you. I've got my prayers crossed that one of these days Kate Rusby or Jennifer Warrens or somebody will hear this song and say, you know, I'd like to sing that. I'd love to hear somebody else do this too. But for now, it's just me. So, Carol of the Moon and Stars. Countless witnesses in a Christmas sky see the architect of everything passing by. From deep heaven to earth by a virgin birth, sing a carol of the moon and stars, which light in the sky will the stargazers see, bright as sun on the sea of tranquility. Across black volcanic sand, shells scattered by his hand, sing a carol of the moon and stars. Look up, the scientist and poet open jar. Look up, see the chaos and precision of the living God. All creation is upheld, through time propelled, sings a carol of the moon and stars. Oh, each miracle nativity, such a common sight, like the sky drowned out by man-made light. Would that every child born be as welcome as a Christmas morn, to sing a carol of the moon and stars. O God, it is my blessing and my constant curse to live as though I am my own universe. But if you should be so kind to illuminate my heart and mind, I'd sing a carol of the moon and stars. Carol of the moon and stars. And there it is, Christmastide on Facebook Live, at least some of the songs. Thank you so much for whatever portion of this you might have tuned into. I'm glad you're along, whether on streaming or during a playback. Time is precious during these days of December, so the fact that you're checking in at all is a precious thing to me. I hope these songs bring a measure of blessing and good cheer to you, especially if these days are in some way difficult or a little bit challenging, or if you have sorrows that are your constant companion during this time of year. I would never want to minimize that in any kind of a greeting card way that makes no difference or no sense. But just know that I very much pray that these songs will also, in addition to the joyful aspects of the season, will be a comfort and a rest to those of you who might hear them. So thank you so very much for tuning in. Again, God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas, a very happy 2018, and I'll see you next time around here on Facebook. Good night.